Bitcoin is right now creating a rising wedge pattern, and yes, this is a very important pattern to be discussing right now here, since Bitcoin has been going quite exponential and now it's creating this new consolidation phase. I want to be talking about my targets, what this exactly mean for the price action right now here, and more importantly, I want to be discussing the momentum on this chart right now to see and try to forecast what the next move is going to be for Bitcoin. So I will be discussing this and many more important charts, including the fact that I will be discussing many charts about great altcoin opportunities, Bitcoin opportunities, the market in general, and much more here. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again slam that like button back above 1,000 likes. It will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards that in the short term. First of all, we were of course looking at this different kind of a pattern, the symmetrical triangle, and then as time evolved, we basically started to look at the symmetrical triangle, the 4-hourly time frame. We start to see the breakout, but ever since we have seen the breakout, yes, Bitcoin moved up indeed towards a new all-time high, which is a very great thing here. But after we did so, we saw another major rejection from those highs here, confirming pushing Bitcoin down a little bit lower. And now if I'm just looking at the 4-hourly time frame, we're starting to see that we're indeed still creating an upward sloping support line, but also an upward sloping resistance line. And if we put these lines together, we're creating a rising wedge pattern. And for the ones that don't know what a rising wedge pattern is, a rising wedge pattern is a typical pattern that tends to get created after a rally, and usually these tend to be marking reversals back towards the downside. I want to be straight away pointing out that I've seen many rising wedge patterns also break bullish, and for me to really decide a direction, I just need to be looking at the breakout. But I do want to be warning you, this is a bearish bias pattern, and we have been creating a pretty exponential rally towards the upside. And after this exponential rally higher, we're right now seeing just an ever so slightly consolidation phase, which is typically speaking not necessarily very good. But if I'm looking at the 12-hour time frame, I'm seeing that of course we're not creating a rising wedge pattern, but still an ascending triangle. So basically what we're looking at right now is still a consolidation phase for Bitcoin. We've not really decided which direction we're going to be breaking on towards. So for me, what I'm going to be looking close at, if we do break above or below this very important level right here, that would really call the next direction for me on Bitcoin. And what I think is quite interesting and potentially quite worrisome right now here is that on the 12-hour time frame, since we've been going sideways for such a long time here, if we're going to be breaking up higher, guys, do expect that we're going to create a major bearish divergence on the top side, because we're never going to be having that same momentum like the previous time around, unless there's going to be any big news in the market, right? So yeah, very interesting what currently is playing out here. I am definitely bullish on Bitcoin. I think we're going to be going much higher this cycle, but you have to understand that Bitcoin doesn't go up in a straight line, and we usually tend to get these small corrections before heading higher. And if you can get those small corrections, open up a trade right there, and then of course catch the next leg higher, you're going to be making the most amount of money. And that is why I will always read the charts correctly and tell you exactly what is going to be happening. So in case of a breakdown, guys, in case we're breaking this upper sloping support line, I'm going to be looking at this level right here, $85,000 to open up a new long trade. And then I think we're going to be just bouncing back higher. So, and of course, if we break above the top side of resistance, I'm not going to take a trade, but we're already likely going to be heading $100,000 if we break that level. So very interesting what currently is playing out. We're seeing also on the ETF, yesterday on the BlackRock ETF, we had about $213 million in inflows. On the general total spot Bitcoin ETFs, we saw $813 million worth of inflow again here. So yes, the tides are shifting again here. We're seeing more and more inflows coming back here at the end of last weekend. And yeah, I just want you to understand that the US government is currently working on a Bitcoin Reserve Act. And once they created the Gold Reserve Act, which was in 1935, we saw basically a major rally across the gold price here, because they were buying up gold. They were keeping gold as reserves, and after that, basically the gold price went exponential. And if the US government is really going to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve, it's going to be huge for the Bitcoin price here. You have to understand that this is going to be making the Bitcoin price only bigger and bigger. And it is actually likely that this is going to be happening, since there are major ETFs currently already traded on Bitcoin, and they're very successful. The government can also see how attractive these things are. And yes, if you just forecast the future, Bitcoin, there is less and less supply available for everyone out there to buy it. And like you can see on this chart right here, there's a very clear ongoing trend where there is less and less Bitcoin available to buy on the market. And as this is going to be continuing, guys, at some point, it's going to be even hard to accumulate one Bitcoin. And that is why these governments, etc., they want to jump on the bandwagon right now here. And that could really, if such kind of a thing happens in this cycle, guys, we're going to be going immensely high here, and it will ultimately be super bullish for the Bitcoin price action. Of course, we know that the Bitcoin search volume is increasing, but it is not there where we want to be it right now. I mean, if we're just looking in general across altcoins, guys, to be very honest, Bitcoin is, of course, front-running Ethereum quite far, and I think that is due to the fact that most of the money is actually going into Solana instead of Ethereum right now here. We're seeing that basically the Bitcoin dominance is running against major resistance, and I am and my team are basically forecasting a top on the Bitcoin dominance is literally happening in this moment of time. Within 20 days, I believe altcoin season is going to get started. So yeah, we are seeing many charts that are also suggesting that the Bitcoin dominance is going to be dropping, and in terms of timing, it does make a lot of sense right now here. So, and this is a thing you should not be fading, because altcoin season could make you a lot of money, and you have to understand that this altcoin season is definitely going to be a little bit different compared to other ones, since most likely the majority of the money is actually going to be flowing in towards meme coins. And if you want to be trading any of these altcoins, meme coins, utility coins, whatever, guys, don't forget to check out Blofin in the link description of today's video, because if you press on this link right here, the highest link below, guys, you will first of all not only get a $10,000 deposit bonus, you will literally sign up to the exchange, which is listing the most amount of meme coins very quickly, so you can trade them and benefit basically from the major volatility they are creating. So very interesting to check out in my opinion. I think that definitely Blofin is the best exchange to trade here on this cycle. So if you want to get started with trading, check out Blofin in the link description of today's video. Further on, we are basically seeing that Bitcoin still is trading in this major uptrend here, and on the daily time frame, we cannot really see major changes here across this chart, since, yeah, the daily time frame is not really indicating or telling us a new story compared to a couple days ago here. Only the things that are telling us a small story is like the 12-hour time frame, where we're still in this consolidation phase. But of course, I already discussed that earlier in this video. And then basically, once again, guys, I want to be pointing out, we're currently creating a golden crosshair, which you do not want to be fading. Also, the USDT market cap change compared to the Bitcoin price here is very mind-blowing. And honestly, the last few times we've been seeing this, Bitcoin has been going on a rally every single time here. Also, what we can currently see is that, of course, Bitcoin is breaking out on a monthly time frame. Well, on the monthly time frame, the market cap dominance from the total market cap in crypto is actually decreasing, and that is basically suggesting that people are selling off their USDT to be buying Bitcoin, and that is honestly a very great development. And since it's still sitting around 6.5 or 5.5%, guys, we can expect that there is much more gains available still across the wider market, because as there's still a lot of USDT on the sidelines, it basically means that we can still see major rallies higher. And yes, basically in the monthly time frame as well, Bitcoin is finally starting to be breaking above the major resistance. And in all honesty, guys, we're just at the beginning of a major exponential rally. I do know that it is probably not going to go fast as this chart right here, but it is most certainly going to go much higher from off the point where we're already sitting at right now here. Bitcoin is indeed breaking above the 1.618 on the Fibonacci. And yeah, what we're seeing right now on many other charts here is that we're breaking out of these larger consolidation phases, which we've been looking at for quite a while here. And that is not necessarily going to be disturbing the price action right now on Bitcoin right here. So yeah, the Bitcoin breakout is taking place here. Hopefully, we're not going to be seeing a rejection or a breakdown of the rising wedge right now here. I'm going to be closely monitoring it. If we break the lower side of support, there is a big chance that we're going to be going a little bit lower. But of course, if we're still going to be pushing up higher, but if we're still going to be breaking the top side of resistance, I still think we can go ever so slightly higher. But do be aware, we're going to create some major bearish momentum, which is going to be quite important to be paying attention towards. So this is it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, learn something from the video, don't forget to slap all that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.